Sean Zarrillo here from the Action Network, joined by our horse racing expert, Mike Conti, to talk the 2021 Preakness Stakes, going to post on Saturday at 6:52 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, the morning line favorite here, the number 3 Medina Spirit, coming in with a lot of controversy. But we're here to handicap the race, not to talk about the dynamics of horse racing. I think we're both going against Medina Spirit in this spot. Conti, who do you like as your top selection for the Preakness?
I'm going with the other Baffert horse in here, number 10, Concert Tour, morning line 5-2, ridden by Mike Smith. This horse would have been the favorite in the Derby before they scratched this horse out of the Derby, coming in off of frankly, a disappointing effort in the Arkansas Derby. But I think that he can rebound very nicely in here, get back to his form, and I love the post position being all the way to the outside so that Mike Smith can use his tactical speed to put him into the race and put him in a position that he wants.
Yeah, 10 Concert Tour should be tracking behind the 3 Medina Spirit in the early going. They both look like they have the early speed in this race, and I think he could get the first jump on the leader. Concert Tour, also my top selection for the Preakness. Don't necessarily love picking a Baffert horse. We do have to pick the horse that we think is most likely to win. He was considered Baffert's B horse prior to the Derby. Medina Spirit considered the C horse, and I think he's going to reassert himself as the top horse remaining in Baffert's barn after this race. So I think Concert Tour, the number 10, is my most likely winner. But there are some price horses I'm considering using. There's a few long shot closers that I think have a chance to either slip into the exotic or potentially chase down a hot pace. So the number 2, Keep Me in Mind, is probably my favorite long shot in here. Now, horses who run in the Derby have won 15 of the past 20 Preakness Stakes. So you do try to look for Derby horses to run back well in the Preakness. We do have 7 new shooters in this field. So the number 2, Keep Me in Mind, getting a little bit overlooked compared to obviously Medina Spirit and also Midnight Bourbon, who is a big price horse or who was considered a big sharp horse going into the Derby. Keep Me in Mind, last early in the Derby, ran 8 wide around the turn and still finished up 7th, was passing pretty much every horse in the stretch, which is kind of coasting along. If Keep Me in Mind gets a decent pace to run into, I think at 15-1 on the morning line, and expect even better odds on Preakness Day. Conti, who are your favorite long shots that you're looking at using underneath in the Preakness, and who do you think has a good chance of hitting the board?
Yeah, my top long shot of 10-1 or greater is number 4, Crowded Trade, who's right at that 10-1 morning line for trainer Chad Brown, jockey Javier Castellano. The interesting thing about Crowded Trade, if you look at Crowded Trade's past performances, and if you overlaid them with Cloud Computing, who won the Preakness a few years back, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference. They are almost identical. And we all know Cloud Computing won the Preakness that year. So Crowded Trade is going to be my top selection. I think coming in really good form, a really good third place effort in that Wood Memorial where we saw chaos with Bourbonic winning that race. Crowded Trade finishing just a nose behind Weyburn in the Gotham. I think that Crowded Trade can definitely take the step forward here. And again, I like the tactical speed of Crowded Trade. Again, he's another one who, if he needs to be up close, he can be, or Javier can take him back and he can make one run at the end. So my top long shot, again, number 4, Crowded Trade. The other big price horse that I like in here is the other Chad Brown horse, number 9, Risk Taking at 15-1 with jockey Jose Ortiz. You know, Risk Taking, we just talked about Cloud Computing. Risk Taking, it's Chad Brown and it's Klaravich, same ownership group as Cloud Computing. Again, another horse that is going to be coming from the clouds, frankly, going to be a deep closer in this spot. And we talked about the pace scenario, right? Concert Tour, Medina Spirit go. And another horse I'll talk about in a second, Midnight Bourbon could push them as well. And if it gets too hot up front, as you mentioned, looking for a closer. So another long shot to use underneath number 9, Risk Taking. The other horse that I looked at in here, which I think is the wise guy horse this week, as you mentioned, number 5, Midnight Bourbon for trainer Steve Asmussen, gets a jockey change to Irad Ortiz Jr. You know that Irad is going to put this horse in the race and he's going to be more aggressive. Asmussen came out and said that he didn't like the ride that Midnight Bourbon got from Mike Smith in the Derby. So look for him to be more forwardly placed and to press the pace early and potentially upset both of the Baffert horses in here. So again, my top selection is going to be number 10, Concert Tour. The horses I will be using underneath, number 4, Crowded Trade, who's also my top long shot pick. I will also be using number 5, Midnight Bourbon, and number 9, Risk Taking.
That's going to do it for us for now. Stay tuned to theactionnetwork.com and the Action Network app for Conti's full card for Saturday and more top selections from our Action Network staff. Until then, and until next time, may the horse gods be with you. And as always, best of luck.